Exit polling shows President Trump received the majority of Catholic votes. One America's Jack Posobiec spoke with Dr. Taylor Marshall of Catholics for Trump.
All right, we are very excited to welcome back to One America News for the first time in studio. It's Taylor Marshall, the author of Infiltration. Taylor, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's great to be here, Jack.
So you were a member of the Catholics for Trump coalition, and now we see in these exit polls, 2/3 of American Catholics ended up voting for Trump over Joe Biden, who is the second major Catholic candidate in American history after JFK. Tell me, what do you attribute that to in these polls that we're seeing?
Well, President Trump did wonderful with Catholics last time, and we don't, of course, have the numbers for really anything yet in this election formally, but it looks like we have probably maybe 60% of American Catholics voting for President Trump, which is impressive considering that Joe Biden presents himself as the Catholic candidate. So Trump did so well, and the main reason that we understand it in our advisory board is his emphasis on being pro-life. He was at the March for Life, and that messaging resonated. I was, at the Butler rally. He mentioned that. It was a great response from the crowd. More and more Catholics, I think, are disassociating with sort of this nostalgia for JFK and also a identity with the unions, because in a lot of these swing states, important swing states, there's a huge Catholic population. And traditionally, they've kind of been aligned with union values. That's faded a little bit, and we're seeing people align more with pro-life, pro-America, and pro-family. And so Catholics, that message resonates with them, and they see it more in Donald Trump than they do in Joe Biden.
And now, looking forward to the Republican Party, they're talking about putting together this new coalition, which it seems to be in the early stages, but it's this idea of really a multi-ethnic background of more class-based, so working class and middle class backgrounds coming together for them. Would you say that includes Catholics as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, if you look at places like Wisconsin, Michigan, Ohio, especially Pennsylvania, we're not talking about the cities, but out in the country, these are your working class, pro-America, pro-family people. And they don't see them as part of the West and the East Coast and that liberal progressive agenda, right? They want to retain their culture and their customs, and in our case, their religion. Catholicism is a very traditional religion, and people, even if they stop practicing for a while, they still have this identity as, I am a Catholic. And so, for Catholics for Trump, we understand that message, more than the kind of things that Joe Biden pushes, which is immigration, which has a conflicting element in some of the southern states with the Hispanics, but the non-Hispanic Catholics, for them, they are turning out for Trump because of his emphasis on these issues.
And then we also saw a little bit of a split, I guess I would say, in terms of Pope Francis, because he extended congratulations to Biden later this week.
Yeah, just a couple days ago, Pope Francis called Joe Biden, and we don't know the full conversation, but the Biden campaign did release a statement saying that Pope Francis shared congratulations and blessings, and Joe Biden said he looks forward to working with the Pope on issues such as ecology, immigration, refugees, and with the poor. And so it's a little bit contrary to Vatican protocol to intervene, especially since the Electoral College hasn't met, things aren't as official, to move forward. And in a way, because the Pope is the visible head of the Catholic Church on earth. So him making that phone call isn't the same thing as just, a president or a premier making that phone call. It has a symbolic significance.
That being said, moving forward, where do you see with the data, the evidence that we've got from this election, from the early exit polls that we're seeing, what's next for American Catholics?
Well, I think that they will continue to trend red. I think we'll see more and more Catholics going Republican. Historically, especially in the South, Catholics were associated with the Democrats, also in your industrial, unionized places, also with the Democrats. And then everyone assumes that Hispanic Catholics are also going to be Democrat. But we saw this past election, not just Catholics, but Catholic Hispanics becoming more and more red, more and more Republican. And I think all those trends will continue in the next few years.
Want to see more videos like this? Visit OANN.com for immediate access to all the clips you've been waiting to see.